Here. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Non-Classics. This is episode number 2914, Doubleshot number 2808. We have two trades here. One, both of them currently don't publish by IDW anymore, but this one was published via IDW, but the thing is, this particular series is back at Dark Horse now. Yeah, we first have Usagi Yojimbo Origins Volume 1 Samurai. This collects the Usagi Yojimbo Color Classics, which was 7 issues, and this is a reprint. This series basically prints in color the first 7 issues of the Usagi Yojimbo comic book published by Phantogram Comics, the very first company to publish this character. Yep, that is indeed true. Of course, you have Stan Sakai doing the artwork here, the writing and artwork here. Yes. Now, my guess is the reason why IDW did this, the color classics for Usagi, because they did it for... Crap. Sorry about that. They also did it for... Turtles, so I guess they figured, why not? I'm sure Stan Scott had to sign off on that because technically this is his work. He is the one who basically owns the license for this thing. Basically, he can his license. So we start off basically where we have like a flashback of Usagi's battles, and it basically is a tease of the future, and it's like a tease of stuff we see for the future for the character. And then we first start up with the 9-part story arc known as Samurai, where you have this opening issue opens up with Usagi confronted by a boar. Yes, a boar, because the world is basically animals, with the exception of horses, mind you, because the actual horses are basically you have these anamorphic animals replacing humans. There are no humans in this world. Everybody is all animals. Like, they have some feudal lords, like one who's a snake, one who's a panda, and Usagi is a rabbit. Rabbit season. I have a problem reference. He fights the boar in a duel. No dialogue is exchanged. And then we see this little imp thing, which is a friend of Usagi's. And they slice with each other, and then the boar collapses. Yeah, because Usagi killed him. And then he runs into his old rival Gin. Gin had this thing where they had this little gag between the two of them where Gin at one point left Usagi to pay for a tab, and then Usagi did the same thing to him as make him even. It's like, that was a good duel. I enjoyed it. Gin! Hello, Usagi. Still wanting. Why'd you kill him? For money? Of course I'm out of honor. His name was Gucci, and he betrayed my lord Mifune. It was years ago in my village. And we kind of get a flashback. And apparently it looks like his father is also a lord too. His father looks exactly like him. I mean, it's not due to the fact he's a rabbit. It's just that he looks exactly like him. So... there's some training with his teacher. And basically the whole arc is basically like his training to become a samurai. That's basically what this 9-part arc is. With a little mixed in with him interact. He's telling the story of the Gin, which is great. I mean, Gin's somebody he knows. There's that. Yep. But it's an excellent story arc. And then we run to the boar, who is basically like this many tournament. Of course, they fought, and it's just so good. Of course, I mentioned that the wine's gone bad. And they went to his little creatures, basically. Just one of them has Usagi's friend just with this, and then of course, we have this guy who's a drunkard, who is the guy who he fought, different guy. Yeah, it's not the board. It's the other, and of course, basically just another or guy, and they just briefly travel together. Yeah, and then of course we have this female rabbit about this. And apparently, this fellow was a local lord who had basically he had fought back and can't take anything, and then for some reason this guy who's a bandit tries to rape this girl because he's trying to figure out her alpha. He's like, "Your friends need this time," and then she stabs the guy trying to rape her, and she brushes it off, and she just collapses. And apparently, it's implies we have a thing for Usagi, but it doesn't go anywhere. It could be a sister, but they don't really say who this is. And of course, Usagi is telling us all stories to Gin, but it's really fun stuff. There's a flashback to the opening, to Usagi's debut appearance in here, with the battle which his lord got killed. And then the arc ends it. Then we have Kappa. Yes, where a Kappa shows up. Yes, those of you curious what a Kappa is usually referred to like a demon. As a matter of fact, there was a character in One Piece whose fur was a Kappa, except he's a fishman. He's a frog fishman. Basically, he's just a turtle with a water pot in his head. It's an okay standalone issue. I really wish this thing was not on the floor. Stay in place, please. Thank you. Yes, I have this book next to me. Come on, seriously. There we go. That's better. Yeah, this book next to me keeps on the floor for some reason. I don't know why. So, and next we have The Quiet Meal. Yeah, then we have Usagi interrupted by a bunch of guys trying to basically do something bad to him. Well, these guys who basically hit Rich basically for hitting the mines. And of course the Rui, of course, to everybody to leave. And Usagi where's the way to go out, and of course everybody to leave. And Usagi stays, eats his food, right? Dance, like, nope. Is there any chance? I'm out. And then he proceeds to slice him up. Ah, now scratching me. No samurai falls out. Wait a minute. My flies are gonna have this too. Yeah, he killed a bunch of flies. This one's been flattened. And then they all leave because all threatened by Usagi. He doesn't even speak a word this whole story. And then we have Blind Sword Pig. Yes, a pig who gets his nose chopped off by Usagi, and he basically gets replaced with a wooden nose. It's shown here, this particular story debuts his character. He lost it in a duel, and he's forced to wear a wooden nose. Yes. The very next story introduces Usagi's love interest. Yes, the woman who later became the mother of his only child. Yes, Tomi, and her lord, who is a panda. Yes, a panda. And of course, she shows up, Usagi, who just meditating, attacks him, and is like, no, it's like harm, and of course, it's a fun little story. Then we see around, looks like Gin, except it's not Gin. It's just that maybe Stan Sakai just reused the character design for Gin for a different character. So we have for that. It's a great story. And it ends with basically him being offered, and then we have this snake trope at the end, who's a Ronin, who is the other lord. This snake also popped up on the TMNT 2012 series for a guest star appearance. Yes. This particular snake was a feudal lord too. Great issues. Love them. Give a 10 out of 10 for these issues. Yeah. Now, in case you're curious, though, are they better both in color or black and white? It doesn't matter. Both are really good. Next up we have is Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. Yep. This is Transformers Volume 1 Robots in Disguise. Yes, the name itself is a nod to two things. A TV show, actually two of them, and also not to the opening theme song. It's not to several things. Two TV shows, the theme song for the original one, and a phrase that that Transformers like to say that they're robots in disguise when they're in the vehicle form. This contains the first 6 issues of the Transformers ongoing series published by Skybound. Robert Kirkman's company. Yes, he got Transformers and G.I. Joe like a year ago, and people were shocked the fact IDW lost a license these two franchises. That I should point out though, IDW had a humongous amount of success with Transformers. Like, excellent books. Of course, the line ended, the original continuity ended, with them counting Unicron. And then they rebooted, lasted 3 years, and then they lost license. Of course, they did publish another book alongside of it. But IDW had fantastic success with Transformers. Because I've read pretty much like every single book. I haven't read all of it, I've read some of it, reviewed some of it for IDW. But IDW had a tremendous amount of success with Transformers. But not a lot of success with G.I. Joe. Yes, American Hero did do really well. Lasted for 155 issues under that particular company. Because of the continuation of the Marvel numbering. And of course, Skyrim brought it back and they continued the same numbering, kept the same writer. Yeah, can you believe Larry Hamill was writing this book since like the 80s? Still? On and off? Yeah. So here we have this book written by Daniel Warren Johnson, who wrote books like Jurassic League, the Battle of the Beta Ray Bill, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, he also does. He also wrote a wrestling book too. So this contains the first 6 issues of the. Now this is for now technically this wasn't the first Transformers book published under this line. You also had Void Rival, which I have reviewed already, which is an excellent book. This book starts out with, published this year. So it starts out with basically the Ark arriving at Earth. There's also flashbacks to Vietnam. And then we see, like, Optimus Prime basically supposedly dead. And we see Spike and Sparky, just at a bar, and of course there with Carly. Carly is, I think it's supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be his sister. No, it's like a girlfriend, but unlike in the original series where he met Carly after he met the Transformers, here it's before he met Transformers. And the one thing about the way he was written, I believe was in IDW continuity, he hated the Transformers. Yes, in that continuity for some reason. And then they stumble across the Ark, where inside, we see, on the floor, we see Optimus Prime, Starscream. Let's see. There is Soundwave, Thundercracker. I think that's Wheeljack there. Actually, no, that's Ratchet. I think Ironhide is over here. I think we have Bumblebee here. They look at this panel like, somebody is missing here. Where's Megatron? That's a little later. So, and then the first people to wake up is this Jetson. I think it's supposed to be Jetfire. And then Starscream awakens where he's got new parts. And of course shoots Bumblebee in the head. Supposedly killing, what are you doing? And of course this guy gets shot too. Yeah, it's Jetfire. Starscream shoots him and Optimus Prime wakes up. Yes, Optimus Prime wakes up. Oh, and that's Jazz right there. Yeah, that's Jazz. He's about to kill more of them, and then Optimus Prime wakes up. And then, not Optimus Prime wakes up, but also Ratchet wakes up too and kicks Starscream. He gets away. Thundercracker's, actually not Thundercracker, it's Skywarp. I thought it was Thundercracker. Turns out it's actually Skywarp. It just that the color scheme reminds me a lot of Thundercracker, but it's Skywarp. It's like, they activate fast. And then I was talking to a trailer. Can you load up Warriors in there? It will be tight, but go. And then he sees on the ground, he sees his gun. Yes, his gun. He picks up, and then we see Soundwave reassemble. Fun fact, in the original G1 cartoon, the guy who voiced Starscream, first Soundwave, he also voiced Megatron. Yeah, and I mentioned this with Mike Spires Slayer when I did like a couple of reviews with him for his comic haul, and I mentioned that Soundwave always talk with a deep voice. Ravage is eject. Razorbeak eject. Bam bam. I'm a boombox, because that's basically what he is. And then we see everybody all gathered up there. Bumblebee, I think, is dead, which is shocking. And then we have Starscream trying to murder Optimus. And then it's like, Ravage, activate, not eject, activate. I'm like, that was interesting. And then Optimus gets his gun thanks to Carly and Spike pushing to him. And of course, and the arc is sort of lost. Actually, it's heavily damaged. And then we have this page on the side. We have Ratchet turns into an ambulance. Optimus Prime turns into a trailer. I do find it interesting, though, that Dana Ward Johnson made the trailer sentient, because the trailer has never talked in any continuity. So, yeah. So, Jetfire wants to come along, too. And of course, basically, everybody's trying to recover. And Jetfire wants to recover too. Yeah, I think definitely probably Bumblebee's dead, which is shocking. They kill a popular character like Bumblebee early on, but at least the Soundwave is still there. And it looks like that Starscream, the way he's written here, it's not like, he doesn't talk about Megatron. Megatron is not even mentioned by him at all this stuff here. And of course, he's gathering Energon. And then of course, basically kidnaps people, because he loves being evil.
Sorry, I just can't wait.
Okay. Yeah. So he sees the paradise. It's like a deer who he accidentally steps on, but he's very sorrowful for that. And then we see him talk about Cybertron when they left. We even see a scene that we've never seen in Transformers before. Megatron trying to rip off Optimus Prime's head by strangling him. Like, usually these two like beat each other up or chew each other, but strangling? That's interesting. Yeah, Cliffjumper's basically back together. And of course he opens up thing like possibly like the Matrix. Of course, there's a nod to the Transformers movie in here, which I'll get to that. So there's lots of like everyone wondering like what the heck is going on here. And Spike's father disappeared, and turns out Carly finds him. Turns out Carly's father disappeared, and apparently Megatron does not want to be mentioned by Starscream at all. And there's lots of fighting here, and I love basically where Optimus Prime just rams right into Skywarp. I'm like, that's awesome, just to protect the humans. And then Spike gets shot. Yes, Spike gets shot, but doesn't die. So, and then Optimus Prime rips off his own arm, who is basically heavily damaged, and then he proceeds to basically just use it as a battering to whack like Skywarp to death. Yes. And like, stop, don't touch him. He makes sounds like, come with me. He's like, I'm gonna save your boy. Of course, Optimus is heavily damaged. He gets a picture to land, don't worry about that. Yes. And of course, they heal him up at their temporary base. And Optimus opens up the chest to reveal the Matrix of Leadership. Yes, the Matrix of Leadership. Something that IDW very rarely ever used. I remember the thing ever being used at all. And he used it to help him out. And of course, Optimus is still heavily damaged, still missing an arm. And then some really weird happens. Like, they give him an arm, and then for some reason, Ratchet thinks it's a good idea to give him Megatron's arm. Yes. And they find Megatron, and he's dead. Yes. The main villain of the entire Transformers franchise is dead. Yeah, his head has been blown off. Of course, his arm is gone too. It's shocking to see that Megatron is dead. and not in the arc. Like, so basically, it's like Dan Warren Johnson probably, because it was constantly where Starscream really will overthrow Megatron. He finally kills him. So more fighting, and of course, Skywarp basically is like damaged. And then we have RC just shows up completely out of nowhere. Yes, RC, who is fixed, and like she participates in the battle. Of course, Optimus is still using Megatron's arm with the freaking cannon. Yes, and then eventually, like, and then we have Devastator show up. Yes, the freaking Devastator. Like, ooh, that's so cool. Yep. And of course, they continue. He fights him in the arc, and then of course need more power. So, and then Spark proceeds to sacrifice himself to hop into the matrix of leadership and chop on the ground. It's like, you know, if you sacrifice for God, he goes and shoots at the place. Rest soon. Give me your best shot. He gets basically taken really easily. I carry the safety. Of a piece. Wait. I'm no fool. Until next time, Decepticon. And the book ends with this. Spike basically waking up at the hospital, which looks like it's damaged, and he writes on a notepad, "Where's my dad?" Ending this volume. Fantastic. Dan Warren Johnson does an excellent job with this book. I give this a 10 out of 10. Amazing. Loved it. Can't wait for the next trade. Yep. So yeah, that's particularly a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and join the dislike button. Also, here's a fun fact. When I got this for half off. Yeah, it was part of the Labor Day sale last weekend, so I was able to get no problem half off. Yep, so I will see you next time, next video for My Hero Academia. Okay, next video. Bye.